Hello, everybody.
Decided to bring something cool and fun to everyone today.
What are we doing? What are we doing here?
What are we doing here, huh? Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Oh, I like hot dogs.
Hot dogs?
Beautiful.
Hot dogs, you say?
It is nearly lunchtime here in San Francisco. We've had a busy week, and we meant to start this live stream a little bit earlier, but we didn't. It's been a big week. I want you to start dropping in some questions for us in YouTube Live, by the way, so we can see all your questions. We can respond to those. I would like to know what you, the Hashgraph community, thinks was the biggest news this week. Was it Facebook Libra announcement? Was it Hedera consensus service? We've seen a lot of comments both ways, interested in that. And then later on in this conversation, I have a challenge for the community today. I've been thinking about what can we do different today that from the last time about testing the network. So you let me know what you think about this, but I haven't even run this by Brady.
No, this is new to me as much as it is to you guys.
So I don't know what you think about this, everybody, but what I was thinking was, I can pick someone here on the live stream, get their account ID, and send them, let's say, 200 HBARs, 200 HBARs. And what happens with that is then they get to keep 20 HBARs and they send 180 to someone, and they pick that someone. So it's not us sending money today.
Yeah.
And then in the chat, they can tag who they sent it to. What do you think about that?
I like this idea. Yeah,
last
this is
time,
very community.
And my thumbs were getting tired last time.
That's true.
It was a bit hectic. So I was thinking, how can we be a little lazier today? What do you think? Do you like that idea, everybody? That would be kind of cool, right?
You're getting some positive feedback here.
We're getting pick me. Funny. It is a chain letter. Do you know what? I used to do those when I was a kid back in the day with physical chain letter. It is. I like it. And please go on Twitter, drop comments in the channel here about what you think about us doing this. I love that idea as far as chain letter. What would it be? Chain HBARs. Chain bars. Jinx.
You only an HBAR.
Hedera chain, on chain. Anyway, who shall I start with? The monetary reset says 1366. Kind of like that idea. Yeah. Let's start with monetary reset, and then everyone, you then don't tell us who to send it to. Monetary reset is going to actually send this. How much shall I send monetary reset? What should we start with? I said 200. Is that a good figure, or should we go higher than that? What do we think? I don't have a lot, but I'm happy to do 500. How about that? Keep 20, send more on. So monetary reset. So I haven't done it yet. This is all blank right now. But it's what was the account ID?
It is
0.0.
1366.
1366.
Monetary reset.
The amount, God, it kind of hurts me to send 500, but I said it now.
Yeah.
Why did I send
Do we try monetary reset? Do we?
Why did I say 500? Now I feel like I can't go back on it. Dang it. 500. Wow, I'm going to be depleted. I'm going to do it.
Can we trust you with this responsibility, monetary reset?
I'm doing 500. You keep this going for as long as it keeps going, okay? John B, I am a terrible negotiator because I'm even negotiating with myself. That's the worst. Monetary reset.
All right, monetary reset.
Man.
We're sending it off.
Oh man, I haven't sent it yet because I'm still second guessing. Brady, hit the pay button.
Mannon says we can trust him, and we trust Mannon.
Is that like inheriting trust from a network?
Yeah.
So we're going to
There's
talk about the
something there.
consensus service, but that's really what. Hold on, just push this button and then
All
we're
right.
done. Okay, hold on, he's doing it. He's doing it. Did it fail?
Oh
No, it didn't fail.
no, it's submitted successfully.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dang
Woo!
it, dang it. Now I've done it. Oh my goodness, my balance went down substantially. But it doesn't hurt me.
John B,
because-
send the rest from Brady's phone. All right, John.
So, you know, when I first came up with this idea this
Nice, you
morning,
got
I
it.
started to think, oh, let's just do 100. And my bad negotiation skills, I ended up with 500. That was terrible. So just in these comments and on Twitter,
Negotiated yourself up.
you know, talk about this, what we're doing, hashtag Hedera at Hashgraph, and just let the world know what you're doing. If it's going through fast, tell people how fast it is. You know, we really want to get the message out. But Manon's comment there about inheriting trust. Let's talk about consensus service. And
Yeah.
why don't you have your T-shirt on today, Brady?
Oh, I need to.
Did it
put
fade
my-
in the fade in the
it
wash?
Faded a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Maybe we give away a free T-shirt today. Someone that,
I would love to do that
yeah,
also.
we
I
should
would
do
love-
that.
Here,
We'll
let's
give-
come over so we've got our
We'll
whole...
get you guys in on the T-shirt action.
Okay, perfect. Yes, let's send a T-shirt out. What other swag could we send to people? We have Lena here, by the way. We have Lena. She will not come on camera. She's going to hide if we say...
Oh, Lena!
So Lena heads up events for Hedera Hashgraph, and she is also responsible for everything you see in our swag store. So if you have ideas of new swag that you want us to produce and put in the store, you can definitely hit us up. She is at Where's Lena on Twitter.
Where's Lena?
So Brady, let's talk consensus service, inheriting trust. I nearly said twust.
What?
Yeah. Go on, tell the peoples about what we announced this week.
Yeah. So consensus service is the ability to essentially build directly on Hashgraph's consensus mechanism. So you inherit the speeds that are native to the Hashgraph consensus algorithm. You know, the tens to hundreds of thousands of transactions, the lightweightness of Hashgraph, so it's incredibly bandwidth efficient, so the costs are a lot lower. There's a lot of benefits that you get by building on top of the consensus service.
And I think what is mind-blowing to people, they're not really getting it yet. And I understand because it's a new concept. But if you are a centralized system that maybe people do not trust because you're centralized, and you have an existing application that could benefit from the trust of the Hedera decentralized network, you can connect your application to using the consensus service and gain all of the trust and the fair ordering of transactions. So, you know, let's say you are an online auction site. You can operate that in a centralized fashion, but connect to Hedera through the consensus service and show the world that this bid came in before that bid. Or if you want ultimate privacy, then you can ensure privacy on your sort of private network over here and connect it to the Hedera network and get all of the trust from Hedera and the fair ordering of Hedera while maintaining maintaining complete privacy over here. It's mind-blowing. I had to listen to Lehman a few times before I really got it. And so no one else has this. No other DLT has this in the market. It is completely unique. And that's pretty cool. Working with Lehman every day, I think we throw around the genius title a little too liberally in society, but he is a true genius. He just thinks very differently. He's a real contrarian thinker, and it's amazing. How are we doing with our chain letter? Where are we at, Brady?
So we had,
for all we know, by the way, the monetary reset has absconded with 500 HBARs. But you know what? You know what? I bet on #info, we could be verifying, is this really happening?
We could be looking at that.
Yeah.
So he's going to send it to Patriot Guards, I think.
Who's Patriot Guards? Do we trust Patriot Guards? He's got the word Patriot in there. We got to, I think.
Let's see.
Where looks untrustworthy that we could get there? You said we. Oh, look, Manon. He's watching on #. He's going to be our arbiter on this. I like it. I like it. How do we follow? Magni1, how do we follow? This is a good question. I'm not sure of your question, but if you want to follow me on Twitter, so I only come on here for the follows, by the way, no other reason. I picked up 9 last time we did this. That was a world record for me. So I am at Chasker, CHASKER. But if you're following this stream, then I think we've just got to use the chat. Maybe we use the comments. When you receive some money, stick it in the comments here, then it is preserved. Go over to the Twitters and tweet about this. I like this chain letter idea.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's fun. So ask us a question. Do you know when HBARs are going to be available to purchase on exchanges? So let me look at the camera here. No, I do not. Do you know, Brady?
I don't actually.
I do not know. What I can say is that we've given guidelines since pretty much day one that we at Hedera do not control when an exchange lists HBARs. And I've seen comments that that isn't true. You can, influence exchanges when they list you. And what I will say is, it is true. It is honestly up to the exchange if they list you and when they list you. What we control is when we are open access. And what's the definition of open access, Brady?
Yeah, so open access is when we're going to be allowing anyone to start building their applications on top of the main network. So you can create an account, you can create as many accounts as you would like, that you're essentially what your wallet allows for you to create. You can start building apps. The coins from the initial investment rounds are going to be distributed. The SAFT rounds, rather, are going to be distributed. That's open access.
Yep, that's exactly right. So anyone in the world can create an account on Hedera without talking to us about it, which is not the case today. Obviously, through community testing, we have to KYC you and we have to create the account for you. That's a very controlled mechanism. At open access, anyone can create an account for themselves. And then, as Brady said, that is when the SAFT holders, those, what does SAFT stand for, Brady? For those that don't know?
Simple Agreement for Future Tokens.
Yeah, we keep going out of shot. I think, do I have BO or something?
You're good.
He keeps moving away from me.
You smell like hot dogs.
Oh yeah, let's change our picture right now too.
Hey Lena, you got to follow.
So Simple Agreement for Future Tokens. So open access is when our investors that got those get their tokens. And then we would also expect that sometime after that, exchanges start to list HBARs on their exchanges as well. All right. Any other questions? Oh, we're choosing a new filter.
We've got too much fun with the filters right now.
Yeah. Let's pick.
Oh, geez.
That's a little disturbing.
Yeah.
We could do funny mashup faces. Ooh, some of those are really scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're using the snap camera, by the way. Oh, googly eyes. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, let's do googly eyes.
These.
This
is good.
Googly eyes. Okay, perfect. Perfect. By the way, Snap is not building on Hedera yet, as far as I know. Do you know, Brady?
As far as I know, they're not. They should be.
Do you know why they should be? Because, yes, that's Brady's dog, by the way, that you just heard, and he agreed. Snap should be building on Hedera because they're a social network, right? And Facebook just came out, they're a social network, and Facebook said, hey, we're going to do our own money inside of Facebook, and it's going to be a stable coin. And you could, I mean, if you were Snap, you could beat Facebook to market with Snapcoin. So if you're out there, Evan Spiegel, watching our live stream, do you think he is, by the way?
I bet he is.
I bet he is.
I bet he's got time.
Yeah, yeah. I actually bet that Evan Spiegel is Hash Out. I bet that's his.
That's him for sure. Yeah.
Hash Out.
1162.
So Evan Spiegel, thanks for joining us. Use the Hedera consensus service, do your own Snap coin, and beat Facebook to market. That's what I say. What do you say?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. Hello, future Snapchat.
Do it, Spiegs.
Because we love your googly eyes. Let me give you another use case, Evan Spiegel, with the googly eyes, is how about, so anyone can create these Snapchat filters, but you got to create them for free. How about every time Brady and I used a Snapchat filter, the creator of these googly eyes gets a little micro payment? That would be a good business model, right?
I think that'd be great. Yeah.
And then the best filters get the most HBARs. I wish we could do HBARs in the googly eyes.
Ooh.
Maybe for next time. Let's do that.
I have a buddy who does filters. Actually, he could make an HBAR one for us that we could do. That would
Can
be
we
cool.
do that next time?
Yeah.
Like my glasses on Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay. Who we got? Check out his hash out. Is Jim? Hold on. It's not Evan Spiegel. Darn it.
What?
Well, Jim, thank you for joining us. We will check out your YouTube channel.
Thanks, Jim.
Oh, my googly eyes went away. Oh no, I'm back to my regular eyes. What happened?
There's 1,000 videos on YouTube about Bitcoin, and many of them completely ignore Hashgraph and HBARs. Is that because they don't know about it? Yeah, we should help spread the word. If you're finding that people don't know about everything that we're doing over at Hedera and the Hashgraph consensus algorithm and HBARs, let them know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly think that once we're open access and this becomes real for people, that it will create a lot of awareness in the market. But we are busy prepping some campaigns to launch that you will see, because I know you follow us very closely, so you will see those in the market pretty soon. It's kind of exciting.
So when will the consensus service be available on the testnet? So it will be available eventually. The webinar that we did recently and the white paper that was released was the announcement of it. And so we do not today have a date on the availability for the consensus service on the testnet, but we are keeping everyone up to date on when they're going to be able to start trying that out. And then there was another question here about the smart contracts testing. We are looking forward to hopefully releasing that at some point in the near future. We don't have a specific date though yet. We still have a lot of traction with people who are doing the micropayments testing right now. So if you also know people who haven't done the micropayments community testing program, let them know, get them to sign up, get them to earn some HBARs.
By the way, we do acknowledge that the KYC process on the second round is pretty stringent.
Yeah.
You know, we wish that we could lower the bar and make it a lot easier, but for regulatory compliance, we cannot. So I know you appreciate that in the community, and you get it. But when you're telling your friends to sign up, you know, just take the time to say it's probably going to be, you know, 48 hours to get through that.
Yeah, I'd say a rough estimate is 48 hours. It could be up to 5 days though, is what we're looking at for the max.
Yeah. So what else do we have here? Can you comment on the news that the father of the World Wide Web has been operating in stealth mode to bring out some new? Ooh, no, I can't
Sounds
comment.
conspiracy-ish.
So
wow.
the question is, the father of the World Wide Web has been operating in stealth mode to bring out some new type of technology to upend the big boys like Google and Facebook. Is this solid? Is he talking about solid?
Al Gore is not coming out with anything. As I know.
He's saving the environment.
He's saving the environment. That's separate from the World Wide Web.
Yeah. But
solid.
It's
solid. Yeah. I think that's solid. So there is a project that's available that's focused, as far as I know, up until this point, around identity. That the father of the World Wide Web has come out with, called Solid, and I signed up for an account actually.
Yeah,
a while back. You can play around with it, and
it's not a public distributed ledger technology though, like Hedera. In fact, my understanding is we could, if Solid becomes a standard, we could just use that standard, right?
Yeah, I think as far as I know. Yeah.
So I don't know if that was the exact question, but that's what we know about. And the father of the World Wide Web is, for those who don't know,
wow, I'm blanking on his
Sir
name.
Tim Berners-Lee, Brady.
Right.
Gosh, a fellow Brit like myself. Thank you, Tim.
Tim's watching right now.
Tim is definitely watching.
Yeah,
you know what? Tim is a little Tim is a little bummed about the state of the internet.
He is, yeah.
It was not his vision.
He launched it, it's his baby, and he's just like, what happened?
What happened?
Yeah.
And here at Hedera, by the way, we're in it to win it, to make the internet a way fairer place and really level the playing field for people. Oh yeah.
I would be happy to wait over a week. That was scary, as just that I was going to make a mistake. Oh, for testing, yeah.
For KYC.
Yeah, KYC.
Yeah. Oh, there, Tim Berners-Lee. You forgot the Sir, though. Patriot gods.
Sir Tim Berners-Lee.
Sir Tim Berners-Lee.
Indeed.
Sir Tim Berners-Lee. Mark Carney is watching.
Hey,
oh,
Mark.
no, is Mark Carney watching? He is the governor of the Bank of England, by the way. Ask me more British pop trivia, and I'm there for you. Ask me American pop trivia. Well, I have twin daughters, teenagers, so I know a lot about that as well. What else? What else should we talk about? I'm surprised no one's asking about Facebook Libra.
Yeah, what do you guys want to know about our thoughts on that?
Look at this. We're down to 400. So we've gone from 500. How many people is that? We started with 500, sent 20. That's 480. Sent 20. That's 460. Sent 20. That's 440. Sent 6 transactions. Thank you. You did the math more quickly than me. I am no Lehman Baird when it comes to math. Obviously.
News for Trump to mention it. Okay. Could you talk about Solidity events on? Yeah. So in terms of Solidity events, so the smart contract service uses the Solidity smart contract programming language. So if you have existing smart contracts that are built on Ethereum or another network that uses Solidity, you can one-to-one transfer those smart contracts over to Hedera's testnets or our mainnet.
And you can use all the existing frameworks like Truffle and stuff to develop your applications.
Yep.
Oh, what work is being done on the front end of the wallet? This is a great question, by the way. And the wallet that you see today is not going to change, absent a few little tiny things, prior to open access, because it really does the job that it is supposed to do. But with the product team after open access, we will decide really what the next iteration of the wallet will look like, if we continue to develop that ourselves, or will we start to see a thriving ecosystem of wallets out there. So we've open sourced the wallet code. We want developers to really come up with some amazing stuff. So why don't you tell, actually, talking about developers and amazing stuff, why don't you tell them about the contest, not contest, because it's not a contest, but it's giving some ideas to sort of accelerate this ecosystem.
Yeah, so we have the ability for someone to earn, actually many people earn up to 10,000 and 100,000 HBARs for building decentralized applications that meet certain use case criteria. So there's a blog posting that we have that outlines what those use case criteria are. I actually don't know when the contest actually ends. Do you know the end date?
Gehrig is not here, but I think it's July 15th off the top of my head. I think he told me July 15th. And
so
that
we've got
sounds about right.
Almost a full month. If you're building a decentralized app, I highly recommend looking at if it would meet any of those criteria. If you're looking to build one, some of the criteria that we have are great ideas for things that you can build, things that would help push the community forward, and also could turn into a lucrative business for yourself as well.
Hold on, there's a dog climbing on me. Oh, Brady!
Hedera dog.
That is Brady. Oh my God, I'm being mauled. This is Brady's dog.
His name is Bear.
I hate Bear, by the
name is
way. He knows it. He
HBAR.
knows it too.
His name is HBAR.
Look at that. Oh, Bear. But Bear doesn't hate me.
Oh, he loves Christian.
When he was a puppy, he came to my house, and what did he do, Brady? What did he do?
Oh, he peed everywhere.
Peed and pooped everywhere.
He also was very, very young. Pre-potty, pre-fully potty trained.
Yeah. They say there's not a bad dog, though. What do they say about bad dogs?
They don't go to heaven.
No, it's bad owners. It's always the owner's fault. He's the owner. Terrible. Okay, what other questions we got here?
There's a question about the distribution schedule, actually. I'm just trying to find that webinar real quick.
Yeah, so the very first webinar, well, it's not the first webinar, but the first in a series of the open access webinars, Lehman gave a chart which has a distribution schedule over 15 years of HBARs. That is a great webinar that you should definitely look into. The actual release schedule, and there is some language on there, will change slightly depending on when that open access day is. So, make sure to familiarize yourselves with that. Open access we expect to be this summer. So, it shouldn't, that chart is based off of a sort of summer release date, so it shouldn't change that much, but it is not, the 100% dialed in. We will publish that as soon as we know exactly when open access is going to be. Oh, this is a good question. Can you delete your wallet and re-download it? So talk to the people about what must you do? So in a decentralized world, you are responsible for your own security, and there's no bank you can call up. You cannot call up Hedera and say, hey, I lost my private keys. What do I do? We cannot help you. Unfortunately, or fortunately, actually, I say fortunately, because that's really the promise of decentralization. But for many of you here, this is your first time with cryptocurrencies and decentralized networks. So Brady, what should they do if they want to uninstall and reinstall and just make sure they've got their security sorted?
Yeah, so as Christian mentioned, you are in charge of your private key, which is the key to be able to use your wallet, send HBARs, receive HBARs, do anything to access that account that holds them. And in the wallet, when you go through the setup process, you're going to have a passphrase. It's a phrase with 22 words from the pre 1.1 wallet and 24 words if your wallet version is after 1.1. Everyone should have the latest version of the wallet, so it's likely going to be 24 words. And that passphrase is going to be the restore phrase that you use when setting up a new wallet, when you want to be able to use the same account that you used before. So keep that phrase in a safe place. Many people keep it in multiple places. So if you write it down and split it into two and then keep those in separate places, that's always helpful as well.
So that's what Lehman says to do, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, really don't store your secret words in one place. You know, chop it up like Brady was saying.
Yeah. But yeah, easy. I've gone through the process a couple times. Easy restore. Just use the passphrase and you're good to go.
Mirror nodes. So any ETA on mirror node SDK availability. Let me tell you where we're at with mirror nodes. So there is alpha code today that is being tested by a few people outside of Hedera. It's not the full-blown mirror node software. Full-blown mirror nodes will come after open access, but I think depending on this sort of alpha code, we will decide whether to release this code prior to open access and let people play around with it, or wait until the full mirror node functionality and SDK is available, which will be after open access. As I'm sure you can imagine, our focus is on you know, what do we need to do as an organization to get to open access? And because of that, there are some things that we need to put after open access. So I was talking to Lehman about maybe his next webinar. I'd love your feedback on this, by the way. But in the next webinar, maybe for our developer community, he can actually talk about all of the features that will be available at open access, and then sort of what the roadmap is after open access. What do you think about that? Good idea? Oh, they're playing it. It's like tag. There is a terrible movie about tag that I watched on an airplane. I'm not doing movie reviews, but don't watch it if you haven't watched it. That's my recommendation. By the way, someone out there may love that movie, and I probably just offended you. Apologies. I didn't like it. How are we doing? How are we doing on time, Brady?
We're 42 minutes in.
Okay, perfect. We're dropping at noon.
Yeah.
So our goal for you is to have this chain letter tag /it completed by noon. Let's get, oh, monetary reset. I offended you. You said tag was funny. Was it though? Well, maybe it was. There were some fun parts. Now I feel like everyone should go watch that movie and decide for yourselves. Where can we buy HBARs? Okay, so today you cannot buy HBARs anywhere. You can earn them by doing community testing. You can earn them by building dApps, as Brady said, that will deploy on the network. And then at open access or shortly thereafter, when they're listed on exchanges, you will be able to come and buy HBARs. But really today, there is no way to, there's no way that Hedera endorses or would ever endorse that you can purchase HBARs today. More questions? What we got? Pass the parcel. We got a lot of, I like that one as well, pass the parcel. Sending and receiving HBARs is super fast, faster than anything I've seen in crypto. Yes, thank you very much. And he's excited for OA, Trick Likeable. We like you, Trick Likeable.
Trick Likeable.
Yeah, that's a very likable name.
We are talking with a few hardware wallet companies. We don't have anything solidified right now, but the ability to do that we think is a really important thing. So we should have more news about that at a later date.
Yeah, it is a priority to ensure a hardware wallet integration. You know, there is a high comfort level with people in the community with hardware wallets. You know, when we have news to share there, we definitely will.
And then someone asked if there is a Hello World application that's available. So the docs are going to be the best place to go to get an introduction to all of the services using the SDK and the API. And there's a getting started section there. So if you go to docs.hedera.com, and then additionally, in terms of an application that you could maybe deconstruct or incorporate into your own app, all of the applications for a community testing program, including the Hedera wallet, are all open source on our GitHub. So if you go to github.com, I think it's /hashgraph, visit our GitHub, and all of the code is there and available for you to use.
There's a question here. What's the link between account ID and public key? You want to take that one, Brady?
Yeah, so the account ID is a shortened version of your public key. So when you're sending and receiving cryptocurrency, or maybe assigning an account to use for spending HBAR to run your decentralized application, you're going to use your account ID, and it sort of is a mask for the public key.
And what are the first two digits? 0.0. One is the realm and one is the shard.
0.0. But it will get into more numbers, though, I would imagine, right?
Oh yeah,
we'd have to get over.
Yeah, absolutely.
One, yeah.
And we talked about this a little bit last time, but there's a company called Hashing Systems, which is doing a name service on Hedera. So you can tie your account ID to your own name on that, and then that will be a very easy way to send and receive HBARs.
Roderick, is the payment server code open source too? Lehman mentioned that the Chrome plugin plus payment server code would be open sourced. I only see the Chrome. So if it's not, we'll track that down to make sure that that is the case. It should be open sourced and available for everyone to be able to use. There's also a technical blog posting about our community testing program that's going to be pushed live likely early next week, that one of our engineers, his name is Calvin, he wrote up, and so it'll dig into some of the technical specifics around all those applications that you're using to test the mainnet, and that should be useful for the developer community.
So we did answer the smart contract question earlier. When will that be added to the community testing program? We don't have an exact date today. It will be prior to open access. We will let everyone know through all of our channels when that's available. So it's not that you will miss an opportunity to do that. You know, you will have that opportunity to earn your additional 100 HBARs. And we also expect, by the way, and this has been, you know, maybe not clearly articulated consistently, that community testing will run even after open access, because as we bring new features and functionality online, you definitely want to test those. So I see in our community channels quite a lot, like, have I missed the opportunity? If I haven't done it yet, will my friends miss out on the opportunity? No is the answer. You know, sign up, go to portal.hedera.com, you know, get your friends signing up. And I understand, you know, KYC takes a little while, but please reassure everyone they're not going to miss out. You need to plug in. Brady
about to
needs
lose
to plug
power.
in.
We need
Hold
power.
Hold on. Thank you.
Oh, it's on there.
Oh, it's on there. Hold on. Someone asked Libra. Oh,
Libra questions.
oh, here we go. Libra. What do you think of Libra? What do I think of Libra? Or what does Hedera think of Libra? So this opinion may not echo the opinion of my employer, but I think it is fantastic. Why do I think it's fantastic? Because a lot of the concepts that you see in Libra are the things that we've been talking about for a long time. So how do you, listen, we all have, oh God, the dog, what does he think about Libra?
What do you think about Libra, buddy?
So yeah, a lot of the ideas that we've been talking about from the get-go, that how do you build trust in a decentralized network for the long haul? You have to have strong governance. And this is something that we talk about often. Lehman and Mance thought as long and hard about the governance model as they did about the actual technology itself, because you've got to get governance right. And if you look at Libra's governance model, then actually it was you, the community, when the news broke this week, and even leading up to the announcement, that was saying, wow, that looks a lot like Hedera's governance model. So it's not a benevolent dictator model. It's not just random people out there. They have chosen to compile a governing council of leading enterprises and organizations, which is very similar to Hedera. Their Libra BFT, again, my personal, not my employer, personal opinion is the amazing thing about the Hashgraph consensus algorithm is it achieves the gold standard of security, which is asynchronous Byzantine fault tolerance. That's what makes it secure in the face of both DDoS and Sybil attacks. Whereas a leader-based system, which my understanding is that Libra BFT takes from that, what is the hot one that they talked about?
Hot stuff by VMware.
I am hot stuff.
Hot stuff.
Yeah. Thanks, Brady. He made my day. Yeah. Hot stuff by VMware. That's a leader-based system, so that makes it, somewhat open to some of these attacks that Hedera is resistant to. Then their initial speed claims, pretty good. Nothing like Hedera. Their finality, their consensus finality time, pretty good. Not as good as Hedera. What else? And then I do think it'll take Facebook. I mean, I don't really trust Facebook right now. I don't think a lot of people do. That's just going to take a long time to overcome that. So again, my personal opinion, not necessarily reflective of my employer, but
yeah, a lot of validation, I think, too, for sort of what we've ended up creating.
Oh yeah, so exciting to see that they they validated a lot of what we've been talking about. So we were super stoked this week when we saw the news, actually, internally. Very exciting. What do you think about it? That's more important. How are we doing on the HBARs too? They're playing pass the parcel. Oh, this is so fun.
Can Hedera really be centralized if KYC is required? It allows regulators or governments to stop people sending money to certain accounts, so the power remains in the hands of the few. So KYC is only required right now before open access, actually. And so at open access, anyone will be able to go and create accounts and I mean, I think it's up to the originator of those accounts to determine if they want to KYC,
Correct.
or if they are required to KYC those people who they are creating the accounts for.
If we did not do community testing, by the way, if you were not earning HBARs, then we would not have to KYC anyone. We just wait until open access. But we wanted to give people an opportunity to test the actual network prior to open access, so that we can see how the network performs. You know, that's good data for us. So when we were thinking about, well, how do we walk the line between giving access to the mainnet, you know, from a regulatory compliance standpoint, if you are earning cryptocurrency from us as the issuer of that to you, we have to KYC you. We just have to. There's no other option. We would love to have found a way to, you know, not have to do that. Oh, that was a great tweet. Can't wait for a cryptocurrency with the ethics of Uber, the censorship resistance of PayPal, and the centralization of Visa, all tied together under the proven privacy of Facebook. And then with an LOL. Brady's doing the LOL, by the way.
In real life. LOL IRL. Facebook still the idea of governance. Yeah, that's right. On the tech side, that's
so we're reading the monetary reset comment here. Monetary reset says Facebook stole the idea for the governance model from Hedera, just like they stole the idea for Facebook from the Winklevoss twins. But unlike that example, they cannot steal the HH tech. The consensus service that we announced this week, I mean, I'm not going to say it's impossible for any other DLT to do it, but yeah, I mean, that is completely,
it's new territory unique. For sure.
Yeah. That's just when you didn't think he could do it again, Lehman really just, you know, changed the game this week again, which is just phenomenal. We've been so excited to share that news with you. I think it's going to take a little while for the market to get it because it's different. Yes, do not forget to tweet out how blazing fast these HBARs with Hedera are. Yes, definitely do that. You should tweet about the chain letter idea, the pass the parcel, the tag, the it. Those were all great analogies. Love those.
Follow Lena too.
Yeah,
Lena. Where's Lena? And Gag. There's Lena.
Johnny Hash.
Johnny Hash.
By the way, I haven't said it enough on this call. I don't think I've said it at all, but we are so appreciative for the support. It's amazing. Really, you know, we pinch ourselves every day that you are the visionaries. You're the early adopters. You saw this thing really before anyone else in the mass market has. You talk about Libra. The great thing about Libra, it is going to bring mass awareness to our space. And that is an amazing opportunity for you to differentiate Hedera, for us to differentiate Hedera. People that had been ignoring this space for a while will now be watching it. It's pretty cool to see. Do you think Facebook will affect crypto adoption more than Backed launching in July? Well, what I do think is when Facebook comes out, they do have such a massive adoption base. I mean, huge. What is it, 2.4 billion? They don't know how many of them are bots though, right?
Right. Half bots.
Half bots. But let's say, you know, even if half of them are bots, that's, you know, that's a billion. And so, you know, that is going to lead to significant adoption, no question. And that's a great opportunity for us, by the way, amazing opportunity. They're trying to make it as easy to send payments as uploading a photo. And you are all doing that right now. You are sending payments peer-to-peer without a bank as easily as uploading a picture to Facebook. That is happening today, right now. That's kind of incredible. Oh yeah, you can move the HBAR chain to Telegram when the live stream is over. And please, by the way, please follow me very selfishly at Hasker, Chasker on Twitter. Again, last time I did this, I got 9 new followers, 9 new ones. Can I get more today?
Maybe, hopefully. Follow me too. BM BM Gentile, BMGENTILE. And follow Lena.
I'm sorry, Lena.
Where's Lena?
We oh God. Do not
Lena.
follow this dog that is climbing up on me. I think
Don't follow the dog.
Cat.
Don't follow the dog.
He wants in on the action. Does he have a wallet? Did he KYC? I don't know.
Tech partnerships, government. Thanks, John.
What is John saying? I'm reading this, by the way, because in the future, when people watch this back, then they won't know what you're talking about. John says, as soon as the HBARs are on exchanges, Hedera will be on the tip of the entire crypto community's tongues. The tech, partnerships, and governing board puts the project on a different level. We agree with that. Thank you very much. That is great.
Is Hedera concerned about Libra having the first mover advantage over Hedera? I would say we're sort of the first movers, actually. We came out the gate first.
Yeah, they're not live yet.
Not live. They don't have their main net. There's a very small test net that's running.
2020 is what we hear.
Yeah, 2020. So we're definitely the first mover. When it comes to
Magni One gave me a follow. I love you, Magni One.
Your dog is like Ralph from the Muppets. Yes.
Oh, can you type in the Twitter name? Slim Gringo. Slim Gringo is going to follow. No, not your Twitter name.
No, just yours. Yeah.
Perfect.
Lena, is yours? Where's Lena?
That's right.
WHERESLINA.
Hey, if the chain letter is still going on. If the chain letter is still going on, let's give Hujat Hassan, let's give him some of these. Do you know why? Because 8501, he is a recent new account on our network. So if you see on #info, the new account, by the way, Nick at #info, you continue to do amazing work. Thank you so much. But on #info, if you click new, you actually see the new accounts, and the 8000s are the new accounts. So thank you very much for joining us. Hujit, not quite sure how to say that name. Hujat Hassan, thank you very much. Okay, what's the time here?
Couple minutes over.
Yeah, we're gonna hang up now. I myself will be at London Blockchain Week next week. London Blockchain Summit. What's it called?
London Blockchain Summit.
London Blockchain Summit next week. If you are in London, hit me up. I'm doing a meetup on the evening of June 16th, and come along. The event is at Olympia, and the meetup, you can find all the details on our meetup page. Just go to meetup.com and search for our meetups.
Thanks everybody for joining. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.